Yeah, good afternoon to all of you. I welcome you to the final session. After this session, as you all know, we'll be selecting the 5 candidates, which the details will be passed on to the ministry for further action. So now we will start the session. First and foremost thing is keep the video on. All of you switch on the video. Because this is a parliament session, I request you all to switch on the video. And now when I call for a candidate, the person will talk for the subject as well as against the topic. Okay. And then there is a question and answer session as it happens in the parliament. For the first 5 minutes, the parliament debates are extempo and they will ruling party member propose this one. Then the opposition party members will they can talk in favor of the motion or against the thing. So then after that there is a question and answer session. So what I thought, a 5 minutes for as a ruling party member or a governing party member, then 5 minutes for the as a opposition party member, and finally 5 minutes for question and answer session. So we will have a 15-minute session for each candidate. See, I am trying to assess your ability as a debater, and this is something different. You wouldn't have experienced as a debate. If you have taken part in the debate, probably you would have talked either for or against the topic. But today you have an opportunity to present the topic, the for or against. So do you want me to give the topic, or whatever we were discussing last 2 days? Do you want to continue with that? That's my first question. If you want the surprise topic, I will announce the surprise topic. You can talk for or against that. Or if you are comfortable with what we have been talking in the last 2 days, the today morning, yesterday, and day for yesterday, then we can have that also as the strategy. So I want a response from you all. So Nisar, what do you think? Switch on the
Morning. We will continue that morning only, sir. Morning topics only. Sir, can you hear me?
okay. I can hear you. Fine. Now, what about Asta?
I think we should continue the topics we were talking about the past 2 days.
But Parliament is not like that, no? Every day is a different topic, no? So, then what about Ashpreet?
Sir, I think it'll be interesting to do the surprise topic, but also I think because we already have prepared for what we were already speaking, I think maybe we can do the surprise topic after what we want to say.
Wonderful. I think that is also a good model. What about Harsh?
Sir, I would agree with Ashpreet.
Okay. Then what about Aparna?
Same, sir. I'm also agreeing with Ashpreet.
Okay. Then Prasanna?
Sir, if we talk the earlier topic, it's good. If you are assigning new one, we will try, sir.
Okay. Then what about the Tulika?
Said that if the new topic is assigned, we can also talk about that, and old topic is also fine, sir.
Okay. Now, before I start the session, I'll give a surprise thing to all of you. Okay, the first topic, which is a surprise topic, I want to see each one of you how you deliberate. You can speak either for or against. That's your choice. Okay. The first 20 or 25 minutes is a surprise. This one. Okay. So reservation for women in the parliament and legislative houses and panchayats, is it required or not required? So the motion is we propose 33% reservation for women. Okay, Asta, you can. Who want to start? Okay, let me start with Tulika.
Sir, can you repeat the topic again? The network is not clear.
Okay, the topic is, okay, the motion is, I propose 33% reservation for women. In all the governance bodies, okay, starting from parliament to the decentralized level, that is panchayat level.
Sir, I have to speak for or against?
Well, it
Sir,
is your choice.
Am I audible?
You are audible.
Sir, I have to speak in for or against?
You can speak either for or against, or first 2.5 minutes for and 2.5 minutes against. I think we'll have
Okay,
that. First 2.5 minutes, they appreciate the motion, and next 2.5 minutes, you become opposite this one, then you will talk against.
So
You can
this
speak in any language you are comfortable, English, Hindi.
I will try to speak in English as all of this will be a common language. So 33% reservation for women is community, but still I'll say, so I'll first tell you the things which will benefit us from this, like sometimes when in the case of interviews and all those things, they prefer that different gender for, because they think they will be a much more reliable and their working power will be much more, but they do underestimate the power of a woman. So to consider all of this, I think these things should not be clouding the judgment of a person for recruiting a woman in any kind of work. And I think there is no boundary for women to do any work. They can do everything and anything they want. So there won't be any problem regarding to that. And but if we talk about reservation, there comes a problem, because due to that reservation category, sometimes some not qualified persons also get into the place instead of a qualified person. So that can become a problem, because a male candidate can be more qualified than the female candidate. So that qualification or quality of the person should not cloud the judgment of based on his or her gender. That's it. I would like to address my case.
Okay, thank you. So now Harsh Yadav, the same topic. I propose 23% reservation for women in governance, okay, from parliament to the decentralized level.
So 50%. You said
Go ahead.
50%, sir. So I'm asking that if you said 50% or
Don't
33.
ask anything. I have already moved the motion 33%.
Okay, so I would like to speak for the motion, but I believe that 33% reservation is beneficial for the society as a whole, as it, so we do live in a male-dominated society even today, although women have gained empowerment throughout the years. But the thing is that we should focus on uh, phasing out this 33% slowly as women get more empowered, and we can say as empowered as men going along. So why is it helpful for this reservation for women and for the society as a whole? Is that it gives a different perspective. A woman's perspective does differ slightly from a male perspective. Uh, due to the biology and due to the social differences between these two. So I believe, but also there's a concept of meritocracy that would go against this. That reservation should not be the only basis of recruiting anyone to any post. So that is why I say it is beneficial for us today, but as we move forward, our aim should be to phase this out slowly. So that would be from my side. That would be all from my side. I rest my case. Thank you.
Okay, Asta.
Uh, Thank you, sir, for bringing the motion into the House. What I personally believe is that we have a parliament and we have elected leaders so that they can represent the people represent the problems that the common people face. Because not every commoner can go and represent themselves in the parliament. We have an elected leader who plays the role of our representative. Right now in the parliament, there is about 6% representation of women. Now, like Harsh rightly mentioned, that there is a different perspective that a woman brings to the table, and when you see a woman's perspective is very different from a man's, and also it encloses a lot of other aspects as well, because we usually say that woman is like the carrier of the family. She brings a lot to the table. Having said that, reservation, I do not know if it is the right way to go about that, because when you bring reservation, it feels like I'm not really a fan of reservation. That's as a personal belief, but we have to bring out other ways where we ensure that there is more representation for women, because decisions for women should be made by women with the opinions of men, but all the problems that is faced by women will be better understood by those of the same gender. So that is what I believe, and ideally there should be equal representation of all the genders, but as of now I think 33% of representation in terms of reservation would be the way to go, until we could bring about a new policy or new change that will probably motivate and nudge more women to get into politics. Also, that we have seen examples of gram panchayat where women have broken out of their stereotype of being a caretaker, of being a housewife, of being only a daughter, into being an elective head, a head of the state, a head of a head of a gram panchayat. So we have seen many examples of many powerful women coming in the forefront and taking lead and leading the country, the state, and the village into better ways. So I think that reservation would be the way to go, but we should eventually, like Harsh said, not entirely depend on reservation, but we should probably look for other alternatives that will motivate people to make it like come into politics easily. That is what I have to say. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. So, Nisar.
ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು ಸರ್. ಮಹಿಳೆಯರಿಗೆ 36% ರಿಸರ್ವೇಶನ್, ನಾನು ಇದರ ಅಗೇನೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾತಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಡ್ತೇನೆ. ಸೊ
Mr. Ahmad, please speak in English. Now we are in the parliament. Either Hindi or English.
Okay, sir. Okay, sorry. So वुमेन्स को रिजर्वेशन भारत देश के अंदर 36%, 33%, ये मानना, हम इसके अगेंस्ट मैं बात करना चाह रहा हूँ आपके सामने. सो आप सभी को पता है कि हमारे भारत देश का संस्कृति क्या है. भारत देश एक ऐसा था देश जिस दिन जब मतलब शक्ति से ही विष्णु, महेश्वरा, ब्रह्मा, वहाँ से ही हम लोग पूरी दुनिया के अंदर स्प्रेड हुआ. वहाँ से दुनिया के अंदर ये विष्णु, ब्रह्मा सब कुछ है ना, वहाँ से ही स्टार्ट हुआ. वो कहाँ से हुआ? वुमन से ही हुआ, ठीक है ना. सो वुमन एक ऐसी चीज है, वो हम उनको डिस्क्रिमिनेट करना भारत देश के अंदर, हम क्यों 33, 50% क्यों रिजर्वेशन देना? ऐसा मेरा एक मानना है. ऑलमोस्ट एज ए मैन 50% मैन को ही चाहिए, 50% वुमेन के चाहिए. ऐसा नहीं बोल रहा. 100% फॉर मैन, 100% फॉर वुमन, ये हमारी रिजर्वेशन सभी को मिलना चाहिए, एक मेरा मानना है। क्यों हम 50% डिस्क्रिमिनेट करना है, एक मेरा एक ओपिनियन है। और इसके अलावा और रिजर्वेशन हमको अभी 33% के रिजर्वेशन हम देखा है, वुमेन्स के कितना रिजर्वेशन है इस दुनिया के अंदर, स्पेशली सॉरी हमारे कर्नाटक में देखा, बेंगलुरु में तो आप देखा बीएमटीसी बस के अंदर, सो रिजर्व फॉर वुमेन्स सीट, जो 4 सीटें रहते हैं उसके लिए हम लोग रिजर्वेशन करके नहीं बोलते, वो सिर्फ 4 सीटें, उस 4 सीटों के अंदर वुमन बैठ के कहां तक वो चलेंगे। अब इनके सब ज्यादा वुमेन्स वहां पर आ गए तो वो कहां पर बैठेंगे, वुमेन्स मेन सीट के बैठ नहीं सकते मेन सीट के अंदर, सो उनको कहां पर रिजर्वेशन है। दैट इज रिजर्वेशन जस्ट इट्स ए फेक, इट इज नॉट इक्वालिटी टू एवरीवन, वेयर इज ह्यूमन एम्पावरमेंट, देयर इज नो ह्यूमन एम्पावरमेंट एट ऑल। So now, if you talk about one more thing, like parliament के अंदर, like if you talk about politics के अंदर, women के अंदर बहुत reservation है, हम लोग कहते हैं। So if politics के अंदर reservation दिया तो if वो 100% रिजर्वेशन दे दिया तो हम वुमेन्स लोग पीछे नहीं हटते थे। ये 36% या 33% रिजर्वेशन करके वो वुमेन्स को क्या मतलब क्या माइंडसेट हो गया, तो हमारे को थोड़ा बहुत रिजर्वेशन है, हम नहीं कुछ नहीं कर सकते इंडिया के अंदर, वो उनका माइंडसेट बन गया है। वो माइंडसेट को चेंज करना बोले तो 100% रिजर्वेशन फॉर बोथ मेन एज वेल एज वुमेन, दैट इज माय ओपिनियन सर, थैंक यू।
Okay, thank you, Nisar. Let me correct you. I have traveled in BMTC. There is a 36% reservation in BMTC. 12 seats are reserved.
Yes,
okay, it is not 4 seats. Okay, 3 or 4.
yes sir.
Okay. So now with this, let us move to Ashpreet.
I think this is a very interesting topic. If it was about um, reservation of quota in other, I think I would have much more to say. But if just talking about women, I think reserving the seats in the parliament is still a good idea because right now we don't have much representation of women, and if we are reserving those seats, the women will at least know that we have something for we have a seat for them in the parliament, and that we are interested in listening to their voices. And also they will be bringing diversity, and they will be bringing the issues that are faced by women in the parliament. So I think it will bring a much larger representation worldwide, in the nationwide, if we have this reservation of these seats. But it might create some problem in long run. Like for example, we have reservation for Dalits or SC in the parliament, which is good. But then sometimes, if we reserve these seats, not just for women, reservation in general, it might take out the actual talent from the seat. For example, if there is a candidate who was actually deserving the seat, but because we have already reserved these seats for women, that actual candidate, in case if they are male, they won't be able to represent in the parliament. So again, as we know, there is two sides of the reservation. I think reserving is good. For now, I think to start with, I would go with yes, there should be reservations, and in the long run, for example, for the next 30 days, for the next 30 years, as the representation in the Parliament of women is increasing, at that time we can decide that. How we want to move forward. Do we want to make it based on talent? Do we want to elect people based on talent? And that time we may need to revise this bill again.
Okay, thank you, Ashpreet. Now let us listen to Prasanna.
Good afternoon, everyone. First, I will talk about the motion. What sir is passed in the our parliament, and I I suggest that it should be 50%. I talks far of this motion, and because women are more committed workers, and they also proved that they are more capable than the men, and they are also entered all the fields, like they are doing the auto driving, they are also in the various sectors, and they are also in the administrative level, and they are also proved that they are more committed workers than the men's. But if the and there is some negative impacts also there. I have to talk about that one also. If we given the more power to the these women, because still the India is male dominant country. If we given the power to the woman, that means we are giving to the power to the husband of that woman. Because in the rural area we are seeing, we can see the few of the example which is showing that the humans are leading the country, or leading the dominant places. But most of the example says that the if we give the power to the woman, that will leads to the power to the husband of that woman, because they are dominant than the that woman, and they will take the charge. The woman can come and sit to the chair, and she can sign, she can go, but all the activities are taken by the gents. And also this concept is not new for the India, but some of the people are misinterpreted that we are surprising the women. But if we women come out from the family, because our India is the family based have the family based system. If she comes out from the family and she's go on the social activities, or she is more concentrated on the activities of the nation. And what about the status of the our family, because she is the holder, or she is the main backbone of our family system. I thought this will be destroyed, because of we are stressing her to more socialization. and uh, and I also think that there is a quota is there is no meaning. If someone wants to do their work, or she really wants to do the that she really wants to come out from the home, and she want to join in the parliament or in the decentralized systems like the gram panchayat, she can come. But if we reserve for that particular in the particular places, what happens, because of not availability of the humans, that some people will choose the some ladies who is the wife of ex MLA, or ex member of the panchayat. This is also happening. This is the negative impact of the giving the reservation for the women in the all the sectors of election, or in the all other sectors. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prasanna. Now let us listen to Aparna.
Sir, actually, I'm not agreeing with Prasanna sir, because actually
No,
no
no,
one is
you are not.
like
One second, let me intervene. You are going to talk for the motion for the
yeah.
first few minutes, and then against. You are not going to contradict anyone else's statements, okay?
Yeah, yes, sir. Okay. So actually, we need equality. So I'm not the person who's agreeing to reservation and all, because even women who need equality. Not only the case of parliament, every company we are facing, like IT companies or any other companies, they are providing more wages to men rather than women. So we need equality, sir. Actually, we not need any reservation at all. It's actually, we need equality. And if actually Tulika ma'am and Ashpreet and all said, because like actually the qualified person need to enter in the parliament. So I'm actually not like agreeing with all the reservation things, sir. So that's all.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, now what I will do is we have another 5 minutes to 3 o'clock. So we'll start the actual discussion at 3 o'clock. Before that, with us, we have a very senior government official who has retired from the government service. Probably we will listen to her words. As a youngsters, probably you will get an idea how easy or difficult to work in the government as a woman. Okay. So, Madam Dr. Anandi.
Okay, you've managed to put me in a spot.
Just because to encourage the youngsters.
Yeah. No, it is interesting, and this is will be debated quite on both sides with vehemence. But I think it is like any reservation. It has to have a time limit, and there has to be a sunset clause as to how far you want and how long you want it. The purpose of reservation is that you want to bring up certain part of the population which don't have equal opportunities. But I think right now women have equal opportunities. I don't see any need for that. But what has happened is in certain sectors, for instance in parliament, there is a lack of representation of women. That is very correct. And we do have other factors which play a role, which is basically either your own self-confidence, or maybe the family is not very supportive of a woman going away, because the certain roles are expected of women. So that is because we are stuck on these gender roles. So and it will take a little while for India to come out of that, but I believe we are definitely better than what we were about 30, 40 years ago when I was growing up. Definitely better. So I do see this as it's progressing, but the progress is slow. I would have liked to see more women come into the mainstream. But that said, I think if you take the civil services, you have a lot of women who represent representing the different their own states and all that. So it is balanced in the government, I feel. But again, it is. I would say there is a need for a woman to prove herself more every time. To say to, I mean, it's not enough if if she has succeeded in one place, then it's, if she's taken as a successful leader, you have to prove yourself again and again. So that is something that I did find, that it has to be there. But I think that's part of how it is. And I don't think I did not feel any, I would say, I was not disheartened by it, but it did disappoint me that such a thing was there, that there was a lack of equality there. But that's how it is. That's how society is made, and that is there in every sector. Whether it is, I think, even in uh, wherever woman is posted, you are kind of judged on various levels. And you're not only, and if you're married and you have children, you're judged there as well. Whether you're a good mother, you're a good, there's so many things you have to, so many people you have to please, and or come up to their expectations. So there's a lot of juggling going around. That is a problem. But I do find some women who have managed to cross that and managed to, and they've not done it alone. It has been that they have the support of men. So it is that both have to come together in this. It's not that it is only the woman who has to fight, or only the woman. There doesn't need to be any fight or anything like this. We are equal, because that's how it is. And we have certain roles that each of us performs, but it need not be engendered. It can be anybody can perform these roles. It doesn't matter who performs them, but if you can live harmoniously, that's the best thing to do. I think it will take a little while, but I'm seeing a lot of improvement. I'm happy about that. So that way I think you're better placed, and to see that when you go out into the world, I think you'll have your own battles to fight, but I think it's a better place right now. Thank you. All the best to all
Thank
of you.
you. Yeah, thank you, madam. Very interesting. So now we'll move to the actual session, 3 o'clock now. So I will start with Harsh. Harsh, you can take up your earlier topic. You can talk for the motion, and you can talk against that. You are going to propose the thing, and then you will talk for it and against. See, everything is done by you.
Okay,
Sustainable mobility.
so yes, sir. So shall I start?
Yes, you will start. Please start.
So yes, sir. Good afternoon, respected members of the House. I, Harsh, a member of the party in power, I'm going to speak on the topic of mobility, and I'll be focusing on our policies. So we have implemented initiatives to address every aspect of the transportation problem from mobility, safety, and environmental perspective. I would like to point that out. Under our smart cities mission, 66% of the 7,763 projects worth of rupees 1.8 lakh crores in 100 smart cities have been completed by the end of 2022. From the transportation sector perspective, the Smart Cities mission focuses on providing for better urban efficiency, efficiency on better urban mobility, smart public transport, and a sustainable environment. The three main areas for efficient urban mobility that we focused on were smart parking and intelligent and multimodal transportation systems. Our decision to skip BS5 standards and directly go to BS6 and directly go to BS6 have reduced emissions from individual vehicles. And now we have further improved on this by implementing BS6 phase 2 very recently, that is from 1st April 2023, which now uses OBD or on-board diagnostic system to monitor real-time emission levels. Then I would like to talk about the Motor Vehicle Amendment Bill of 2019 that we brought in. So the penalty for violation is significantly high now compared to the previous act. The traffic violators and the environment degrading vehicles and the manufacturers now receive stricter punishments. We have also focused on improving land use transport planning to make the transportation system more sustainable and cities more livable. As one wise person had said many ages ago, "Jaan hai to jahan hai." That is, if there is life, then only the world would make sense. Now, once again, good afternoon, respected members of the House. I will now speak from the opposition side on the current policies concerned with mobility, starting with smart cities. Smart cities initiative is more focused on developing the already developed cities, but not the poor villages. Instead of looking at solutions to accommodate the migrants from rural areas, it's better to look at the solutions to increase the employment opportunities at the village level. We should evolve our policy from being supply centric to demand centric. It is a it is vital to understand that urban mobility is a derived demand. People travel to various places using modes of transport to fulfill their needs, be it social or economic. Instead of focusing on widening roads and building flyovers and underpasses, we should think of creating extensive public transportation and promote non-motorized transport (NMT) systems. The pandemic has taught us that working from home is a viable option and which decreases the stress on our transport system. We should encourage a hybrid work culture. Then coming on to the directly jumping on to BS6 policy and skipping the BS5 standards. The BS6 decision forced the car companies to sell out the BS4 vehicles at cheaper prices to clear their stock. How ironical. And BS6 vehicles came in with a sudden and significant price hike. The shift should have been better planned, in my opinion, and we should learn from this and plan for future accordingly. A suggestion from my side would be that we can develop a rating system for vehicles similar to the Energy Stars rating system for electronics like ACs and fridges have. This would help the consumer to in making a choice based on eco-friendliness of the vehicle and foster a sense of responsibility towards the environment. even after imposing, now I come on to the Motor Vehicle Amendment Act of 2019. Even after imposing heftier fines for violation, the accidents have been on the rise and deaths almost constant around 1.5 lakh per year. We should and must focus on increased road safety and making cities pedestrian and bicycle friendly. It would make the cities less congested, less polluted, and less dangerous. Uh, I would like to say, as a member of the opposition, Jahan hai to jaan hai is also true. The reverse of jaan hai to jahan hai, which translated to English would be that if the world is livable, habitable, then only it can sustain life. I would like to rest my case. Thank you for your patient listening.
Okay, now it's open for discussions, criticism, as well as appreciation. So, Nisar,
Sir. Hello.
you are going to
Yes,
comment on Harsh presentation just now. Okay.
Yes, sir. Like आप बोले मतलब I very happy that Harsh Yadav talked very nicely about regarding the mobility of current scenario of our nation. So, but I wanted to like add one more point regarding this. क्या हम ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम क्या हम ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम सिर्फ हम सिटी के अंदर ही डेवलप कर रहे हैं आई अग्री यू टोल्ड लाइक सिटी के अंदर ज़्यादा डेवलप कर रूरल के अंदर डेवलप करना है सो ये रूरल के अंदर सिटी के अंदर बीच में ये रहता ना लाइक इंटर सिटी मत ये ज़्यादा सिटी भी नहीं है या और बड़ा ये भी नहीं है मतलब विलेज भी नहीं है वैसे 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 जो सिटीज़ है वैसे सिटीज़ बहुत बेकार हो जा रहे हैं बर्बाद हो जा रहे हैं उसके आप क्या सजेशन कर सकते हो उसका क्या पॉलिसी ला सकते हो अभी खुद वो डेवलप नहीं हुआ
So as I mentioned, you're talking about tier 2 and tier 3 cities, I think, which are neither big city, which neither falls under the category of big city or a village.
Yes.
So yes, the policies up until now have majorly focused on connecting rural area to the big cities. So now we have taken lessons from the pandemic as well कि जो basically supply based policies की जगह we have to shift to demand based policies. So the demand is of the people is to get better education, get jobs, get facilities like shopping complexes and hospitals and all. That is why we need transport. So instead of making hundreds of networks between these cities and cities to villages, tier 2, tier 3, whatever, we should focus on developing that area in the first place so that people have a lesser demand of going out of their native place, and that development has to happen in a sustainable manner, na ki in a senseless manner. So that would help, I think, the situation.
I agree with Arshad, but what I saying that क्या मैं बोलना चाह रहा हूँ अभी भी हम लोग ट्रांसपोर्टेशन सिस्टम हम लोग अभी सिटी का गए तो मैं बेंगलोर से मैं मेरा गांव को जा सकता हूँ और जब खेड़े मेरा एक विलेज है मैं जब विलेज को जाना चाह रहा हूँ मैं विलेज को जाना चाह रहा हूँ एट 8 o'clock बस सभी बंद हो जाता है जब होल नाइट मैं बस स्टॉप पर सोना पड़ता है इसीलिए कि मेरे को मेरे विलेज को जाने के लिए बस नहीं है सो ये इंटरमीडिएट सिटी के अंदर अभी भी बहुत सारे ऐसे लाइक डेवलपिंग सिस्टम नहीं है प्रॉपर डेवलपिंग सिस्टम नहीं है अब ऐसे बस फैसिलिटीज ट्रांसपोर्टेशन अच्छा है बोलते हैं मतलब एक बस वहां से एक विलेज को जोड़ते वाट एक बार एक बस के लिए हम लोग उतना वेट करना है उसके लिए क्या आप एक्स्ट्रा कर सकते हैं मेरा एक सवाल बट आई हैव टू वेट whole night if I reach 8 o'clock that city to go to my village. Hello?
Looks like a member has gone for something not to be seen. So member has lost the connectivity. So working from home is not working now. Okay. Harsh? Well, Harsh Yadav is not to be seen still. So we'll wait for another 30 seconds and then we'll take up the discussion of the next member, okay? Yes, I can hear Harsh, yes.
Sorry, sir, I got disconnected. My router lost power. Nisar, you were saying, so can I continue?
Yeah, please continue.
Yes. So, Nisar, your problem was from your personal experience there are not enough buses and the public transportation system still needs a lot of improvements, especially in smaller areas, less developed areas, rural areas. So I would agree. The policies, the implementation of policies in our country is unfortunately quite slow. So we have to uh, take care of that. And your problem, I mean, there is a road that exists uh, that connects your village to the city. So the good thing is, the best thing, in fact, is there is means of traveling. So now the it's a smaller challenge, I believe, to improve the number of buses. And in fact, improving the number of buses is the best way to go forward, especially if they are CNG. So I think it's just a matter of time. You will get a better connectivity, hopefully.
Yeah, I agree with your point, but I want to add one more point, like to how
Yes,
to
yes.
solve this. I have to give the conclusion about this. Sorry, instead of spending too much money on developed cities, why we can spend on this type of cities? That is my answer. Thank you. Instead
Yeah,
of spending too much money. That's
I mentioned that. I mentioned
yeah,
that
yeah,
in my
yeah,
presentation. But I thought your
yeah.
thing was ki you are facing the connectivity issue specifically. So, okay. But yeah, relevant point.
Yeah. Thank you, Ashwat. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Nisa.
Okay, next person. Anyone else? Asta?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I would like to ask the member of the parliament how their government aims to reduce the dependency on the paper, that is in public. I mean, in public transport, the buses. Right now, the ticket that is being given to the customers, the travelers, is in my city, that is now it is digitalized, digitally printed tickets which cannot be recycled. Before it was the paper could be recycled. How does the government aim to find an alternative to this problem?
Your tickets are not recyclable that they are using. So they are not made of paper.
They are paper, but the coat, it's coated with plastic, very similar to the Cadbury packaging. It is paper, but it is coated with plastic, so it cannot be recycled.
So I feel that should be avoided in the first place. We should go back to paper tickets. So probably people would have been. Matlab, I don't exactly know why they have done this, but one explanation could be that they have done this because people might say ki the printing on the paper is not you know uh, staying there on. And but I don't know why they have done this. They should move back to either paper tickets or digital tickets that you directly get on the phones. That would be, I think, an even better option. I hope that answers your query.
Okay, Aparna.
Okay, Harsh. So I have two questions. I have two questions. So first is one second. Hello, am I audible? Okay. My first question is about. So I'm from Kerala. Now I'm in Bangalore. So here is a trend that everyone is using or depending on different kinds of apps like Uber or Rapido or Ole. So by the increasing number of apps, there is increasing number of rickshaws, cars, bikes in the roads. So it is actually increasing the global emission. Carbon emissions and all. So actually, what's your perspective towards this? And also, after you answering, I'll ask the next question.
So, Aparna, I would beg to differ. People would have traveled anyways. Matlab, if there was service of Ola, Uber, and all, fine. They are taking those services. If they didn't have those services, they would have traveled anyways. So they would have used some other mode of transportation. Now they could have used a public means of transport or their private vehicles. If they would have opted for the private means, then it's better to have, I feel it's better to have, such services such as Ola and Uber, because that one car, which most of the cars, by the way, are fitted with CNG motors. So you might have experienced that they don't have, or they have less luggage capacity because they have that CNG cylinder at the back. So I feel that is better to have such services instead of having more number of private vehicles. But yeah, public transportation, if that suffices the need of the people, that would be the best. But these are also, I feel, in my experience, they are good alternatives. So yes.
So actually, I was telling like if we can provide one private bus, that would be better than 3 or 4 rickshaws. That was I.
But rickshaws, I didn't get your point. Providing a private bus instead of.
Actually, I'm giving the idea about we can also reduce the traffic and everything, and also we can reduce the emission of all these gases and everything, right?
I believe that you are pointing towards better bus transit systems, right?
Okay,
More number of buses.
okay. So next I have the question regarding the electric vehicles. Actually, you're telling like it is more eco-friendly than the normal ones, but I'm against that because actually how it can be eco-friendly? Actually, if the company which made these cars should be first eco-friendly, otherwise it is not eco-friendly. And also the electricity which we use is basically from the burning of this old coal and everything. So that is not eco-friendly. And can you or could you please tell me the about the hydrogen fuel engine vehicles also? The perspective. I need your
Okay,
opinion about that.
let's start by comparing electric and our fossil fuel combustion engines. So when we talk about fossil fuel combustion engines, our regular petrol, diesel, so the problem with them is the advantage of them is they get refueled very quickly, and they have been developed for decades now. So but the problem that the thing is that whenever you turn that engine on and combustion happens, you will get some residue, and that residue is in the form of carbon emissions and pollutants. So every time you use that mode of transport, you are emitting carbon and unhygienic aerosols into the environment, then how do we get those resources, the diesel and petrol? Through mining, right? Through then refineries refine all that fuel load, and then that gets transported to your petrol pump and then you use it. So now let's compare it with electric vehicles. So you have to mine raw materials for the creation of the electric battery. So that is, I believe, the most like the worst thing about the electric vehicles today. uh, that creates the most pollution level in the electric category. But uh, once the electric vehicle is built, it's ready to for the use, you get electricity from the charging station, which, let's say, is being powered by some conventional fuel source. So first we need to tackle that problem of replacing those fossil fuels to power the electrical charging stations. We need to employ renewable sources of energy, cleaner sources of energy, and whenever you run that vehicle, there are zero emissions, no noise. And that's true for the till the vehicle runs through its life. So that's one point. So in the long run, yes, electric vehicles do come with their challenges, and with time we will manage to reduce pollution at every level. But uh, and we will be able to use switch to renewable sources of energy for powering and recharging our batteries. But in case of fossil fuels, they are limited in number. We cannot increase their number. Now coming on to your hydrogen you asked about. So hydrogen uses, you need hydrogen and you combine it with the, I think it was with oxygen, that reaction releases energy, and the output that you get is not CO2, nothing, but just water, and that too distilled water. So hydrogen, the challenges with hydrogen is storing it and building an infrastructure like we have for fossil fuels, petrol pumps, and all. So that's the biggest challenge with hydrogen. But it is even better. The final product is even better than electric in comparison. So I
Okay,
hope
thank you, Harsh. We will have the time up. So we'll move to the next
Thank you.
speaker. So Tulika is the next speaker. Tulika, you can present the thing in 5 minutes for the motion, and you can propose, and then 5 minutes for the motion and 5 minutes for the against the motion. Okay, and remaining time is for the question and answer session. The total time is 15 minutes. At 5 minutes, you will hear a bell. So then 10 minutes, you will hear 2 bells. And when the time is up, 3 bells. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for giving me this opportunity. I'll today in this parliament debate, I will be talking about the water conservation and the policies that Indian government has taken up to for the water sustenance. I'd like to start with that tagline of Jal Shakti Abhiyan, which tells that catch the rain where it falls and when it falls. So it means that they are trying to minimize the water or misuse of water and do more rainwater harvesting. So we know how water crisis is a huge problem in current world, and the water footprint has is around 1 million in for person per year. So we need to save the water and reuse and recycle the water that we are using. And for this, government has initiated some plans which are under Mahatma Gandhi Rural Development Plan, and that Atal Bhujal Yojana, and many plans, and which also includes that rejuvenation of lakes, also rejuvenation of rivers like Namami Gange project. And like this, the government has done many projects and policies to do the recycling and reuse of the water, which shows that if we implement this in a proper way, we can actually save the water and use it in a more sustainable way. And that our water usage in different kinds of ways, like which I talked about, that water footprint, which is in our direct use and indirect use, which will also affect that usage of water if these policies are implemented. And the, to speak on the opposite side of this and to see what is actually happening with these policies, we can see that yes, these policies has been implemented since 1970s and 1990s. Then again new policies have been come up in current time 2023. They have also published that water census report, which shows that mostly water uh, is available in the encroached in the rural areas, whereas it is less encroached in the urban areas. But still those policies have not been implemented properly, which shows that if in 3 years they said they will put taps in everyone's house, but taps were implemented in suppose 80% of the houses, but the water doesn't come, so it doesn't solve the problem. And also if you see the groundwater scenario in many of the places in Bangalore and Kolkata, we can see that the groundwater has been washed out, and it has created a hollow kind of situation, which has created a huge problem. For a practical experience, if I talk about in Kolkata, that in Calcutta University campus, we can see a sink there, and the building has sunk actually, which is due to that groundwater extraction of a extreme amount. So, even that policies are implemented, we have to actually implement those policies in the field and in a regional level. What policy works for Rajasthan will not work for Karnataka, or what policies work for West Bengal will not work for Jammu and Kashmir. So by regional differences and geographic location, we have to implement the policies, and that's how I want to raise my case. Thank you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Tulika. Now Asta will pose the question.
Uh, Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to pose the question to the Member of the Parliament. What do you think could be done possibly to ensure total accountancy on both ends, on the government end, on the legislature end?
Asa, can you repeat that network connection is not good actually?
Oh, I apologize. There's a little bit of problem with my Wi-Fi.
No, it's okay from my end.
Same. Sorry. So what I was saying is, what do you think can be done on both sides in terms of the government, the individual citizens, and from the end of the legislature? What can be done to ensure maximum accountancy on the policies that are implemented? As you mentioned in your first speech, that the policies that have to be implemented should be properly implemented. What do you think the measures should be taken to implement these policies?
First of all, that public should know what the policies have been there. First, that knowledge has to be there, and the awareness has to be spread to because many people doesn't know that of water conservation. They leave the tap open while they are brushing. So that's not the way to lead a sustainable lifestyle. So you have to know what is a sustainable lifestyle. You have to be environmentally literate. Then only you can understand these policies, and then only you can implement this in an individual level. And if you implement these in an individual level, then only you can do it in community level and the national level. I hope I have answered your question.
And what do you think the government can do to ensure the opposition or the ruling party can do to ensure that the policy is implemented in its right terms and the fund that is allocated towards the particular policy is used judiciously?
First of all, they can spread some awareness programs to spread what is actually to be done. And second of all, we have to keep an eye on what is happening with the policy, what they were trying to do, and if that has been done, or if that has not been done, why that has not been done. So by giving a tab of these things, and if they spread the awareness, I think we can solve the problem.
Okay. So Ashpreet.
I'm not really sure if I'm getting what exact actions you are proposing. Like, I think what Asta wanted to ask is what actual steps can you take so that those policies are implemented? Like, I know you talk about awareness, but awareness about, can you give examples like awareness about what aspects of water conservation and up to what level?
Okay. I will give you one example. Uh, let's suppose we are one farmer is doing wet cultivation in his area. Suddenly there is a change in that landscape because of deforestation and land use changes, and the water availability of that area is reduced, so that that farmer cannot do that kind of agriculture that he used to do. So now he is complaining that he is not getting the water, but he doesn't know that has because of the forest loss, right? So he need to be environmentally aware to know that. I am suggesting first the government should make sure the people are aware of their environment and how to protect it, and then they can implement those policies on them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay. Aparna.
Hello, am I audible? Okay, sir, I would like, Tulika ma'am, I would like to know that how much successful these policies are. Like what extent we can apply to this management system, like water management. And hello, and could you please tell me about the rainwater harvesting technique that how we can apply, like how we can apply in the urban areas, like we don't have that much area in the urban places. So could you also please tell me this?
Okay, sorry. To answer your question, how I see, if we see that Namami Gange project, we have seen in some parts of Ganga, like in Varanasi and those stretches, we can see there is a distinct improvement in in that area in Ganga, which was a very worse situation in a few years back. So this shows that work is happening, but not to that rate what we were expecting. And to answer your second question, that rainwater harvesting, we can do roof water harvesting. Whatever the rain is coming onto a building, we can source it to a pipe and store it in a underground water tank, and we can store that water for a long time for our uses.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Nisar Ahmad.
Hello, sir. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, Tulika madam, you talk about their water resources in India. So I have one doubt regarding this. I have a question regarding this. हमको नेचर के अंदर हम we are talking about nature, right? So nature के अंदर सिर्फ human beings मात्र नहीं है, इस human beings से अलावा birds है, animals है, सब बहुत trees है. So मैं जब experience किया हूँ जो दुफकाल है समर के अंदर, सो बहुत सारे बर्ड्स डाई हो रहे हैं. सो वहाँ ये वेयर इज दैट वाटर रिसोर्सेस कहाँ पर है, मतलब कहाँ पर वाटर सस्टेनेबल कहाँ पर आप कर रहे हैं। और एक बात, मतलब ये एनिमल्स के लिए वाटर रिसोर्सेस कैसा आप आपके थ्रू इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, आपके थ्रू एक पॉलिसी इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं।
Okay, because see, the in some places where sorry, some places where there used to be birds, now they're dying. You can see if there was a lake once, now it is not there. That is because of that groundwater level has decreased so much, so that that lake can't be refilled again. So whenever it rains, the water goes. Yeah, you are saying?
I'm not talking about lakes here. So how you can implement
Then
this policies to promote, to protect our animals as well as our birds? Even if you see the birds are present inside the city as well as outside the city, as well as inside the village as well as outside the village, how you can implement the policy such a way that we can protect entire our resources, entire our like animals, plants, everything.
so to implement that, what you are saying, that that is only the you are talking about that wildlife or the birds. So they are facing that problem only because of the forest loss or the vegetation loss of that area. If there is a proper vegetation, then there will be water. If there is no vegetation, there won't be water. So first you have to stop cutting trees and stop the deforestation of the native forest areas. And even some areas have been, any forest has been cut out, so instead of planting that exotic species, you can plant the native species so that the local birds and animals can stay in there, and that which will also increase that water availability of that area. If the water will be there, only that only will be because of the tree or the vegetation cover of that area. Other than the tree, the we can see where, because uh, of no trees in Rajasthan, there is no water, right?
It means in our village also there is no tree. Then you may say that yeah, we don't have any water.
No, there, if there was water before, maybe you have done that exotic species plantation. We have seen that some places where there used to be water, now there is no water. So that is because of the deforestation and all the introducing of exotic species. That's what I'm trying to say.
Thank you, Tilka madam.
Thank
you so
you.
much.
Okay, Ashpreet, you have some question?
Yeah, I just want to ask, because I know you're talking about forest and how forest degradation is leading to reduction in groundwater, but I think that is not the only fact that is leading to groundwater depletion. I want to ask you a question about, for example, we are setting up these industries near cities or even villages, and these industries take a lot of water, even groundwater. They're taking up a huge amount of groundwater, and then these companies are selling these water in bottled form to us. So do you know about any such policy, or can you suggest any such policy where we are regulating about where these industries should be set up, how much water they should be extracting from groundwater to do their industrial purposes?
For now, I have to look up if any policy is there, but I think there should be some uh, margin where for each institution to extract the groundwater they're taking out from that area, because not all the areas has the same amount of groundwater, and it will differ from one area to another if they are setting up a plant. So first they have to analyze how much water is there, and then they have to allow that plant or that industry to be set up there. And what you're trying to say, I mentioned in my speech before that due to that huge extraction of water, that groundwater aquifers are drying up. So that is a major concern which have to be taken to see.
Okay, thank you, Tulika. The time is up. Now we'll move to Asta.
Thank you, sir.
Asta, you can do the presentation. You can start the debate for
Can
first
you give
5 minutes, then again it for the next 5 minutes, and then question and answer session, the last 5 minutes. Okay, please start.
So can you give me just 1 minute? My Wi-Fi is a little unstable. I'll just check with it and be right back. Before I start my speech, I'd want to check that because I don't want to have network issues in the middle. Just 1 minute, sir. I'll
Okay,
be right back.
we'll take up the discussion of the. We'll keep aside the water bill for a while. We'll take up the energy bill now. So, Prasanna.
Yes, sir. I thank the honorable speaker to the this opportunity, and I welcome all the members of parliament to the my presentation on the renewable energy. I speak as the first 5 minutes. I speak as the member of ruling party. Then I will speak as the member of opposition, and I move small. Project that is announced by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy. As I discussed earlier, also we know that the energy sector is the more the deciding factor in the sense of the development of a country, and global power sector is now transferring towards the renewable energy, so that India also getting into that field, and it is also moving forward. And if we see the ratio of the energy we are getting from the renewable energy, we are getting 40% of the energy from the renewable energy sources, and we have the goal that by 2030 we have to achieve that 50% of the energy coming from the renewable energy only. And in at present ratio, we are getting the 48% from the solar energy, and 40% from the wind energy, and almost 46% from the hydropower, and 16% from the bio. And in this regard, I can say that by the time of 2070, we can come to the point that we are zero emitting countries, zero carbon emitting country. And if we see the global position of our solar energy production, we are in the 5th global position. So we can proudly say that our government proudly say that this is because of all the projects, all the new schemes, all the policies done by our government. Because of that, we have achieved all these things, and we also aim that reduce the carbon emission to the 1 billion tons by the time of 2030. And also we have to achieve the 500 gigawatt power from the renewable energy by the time of 2030. All these are the short term our goal, because we have already signed in the international solar alliance. Because of that, we have put these short term goals. Based on that, we have also have the two major what the schemes. One is the PM Kusum Yojana, which says about the Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Uthan Abhiyan, which is focused to the agricultural, focused to the farmers, who are the backbone of our India. And it has the objective that we have to increase the solar capacity by 30,000 kilowatt by the time of 2022. And this is having the three components. One is that to achieve the 10,000 megawatt power from the solar through installing the mini solar power plants, which is of the size of below the 2 megawatt. And then the second component is the providing the solar power pumps, or the pumps which is run by the solar power, which is not connected to the grid. That is independent from the grid connected one, and this is the new user can install this one. And the third component is solarization of the grid connected pumps, which are using the power given by the regional power supply companies. From there, they are presently they are using from those companies, but they have to self dependent because they have to be more sustainable and their economy also increase. And we have the goal that we have to double the income of the farmers, so that we are introducing another component as the solarization of the grid connected pumps. In these three regards, we have three options. For the first one, for the component A, we are providing the 30% subsidy from our government, and 30% can be given by the state government, and another remaining 40% can be who is going to install, the owner can invest in that, so that he can get the more benefit from that. And as well as for the coming to the component B, which says about the off-grid solar pumps, that we are enabling one farmer can install the 7.5 HP, that is the maximum limit, 7.5 HP off-grid solar power pumps he can install. In this regard also, we are giving the 30% of the 30% of the cost of these pumps will be given by the central government, and 30% is given by the state government, and remaining 40% can be given by the owner of the land. He can invest. But also we have enabled another option, that we have also asked the bank to give the loan for this one, and initial stage only 10% can be invested by the farmer. At the last also, we have another thing, that if he can in the third one is the grid connected solar power plant, in where he can install the same 7.0 HP up to 7.5 HP solar power plants, and he can also, if we have the excess solar energy, he can transmit to the grids which is run by the regional power supplying companies, and they can decide the value for that, and they can gain the amount, or they can get the amount by the regional committees also, regional companies also. And these three are, I think, these are the major steps taken by our government towards the zero emission country by the time of 2070. And I will keep this concept or this scheme to the open for the discussion. And now I speak as the opposition to the opposition leader, or the member of opposite party. I will oppose this what the scheme is given by the government. As the member of this ruling party has mentioned the new scheme of the PM Kusum Yojana, this is only showcasing project, or is showcasing of their government. There is no actual, or there is no possibility of actual implementation of these schemes. If we see the result of this one, in the first component only 2% is achieved, and in the second second scheme, they are only, in that also they are achieved the only 1%, because only they have sanctioned 9 lakh of solar pumps, but only 10,000 people are installed the solar pumps. This shows the failure of their scheme. And third components also, only 2% of success they have achieved. This shows the interest of the government towards the renewable energy. And they are talking about the renewable energy in the sense that they are 40% of the total. If we consider the total energy of the production of the India, 40% is coming from the renewable energy. But in that renewable energy, they have included the hydropower and the small hydropowers also, and nuclear power also. And they have not considering the what is the environmental footprint, or the carbon footprint of the hydropowers, which is having the in the renewable energy production. The hydropower has the 40% share. In that 40% share, how much carbon footprint or the environmental impact, what it is causing, they are not committing, or they are not considering that. Also, they are encouraging the nuclear power plants, and it has the share of 16% in the total renewable energy energy production, so that they have not disclosed the what is the impacts of these nuclear power plants, and they are encouraging that. Because of that, they are considering the nuclear power plant as the renewable energy. This is total failure, and this is the not a correct way of considering the renewable energy. I strictly ask the minister of the energy and renewable new and renewable energy through the speaker that he has to think about this, and he has to reconsider this policy, and he has to they have to consider like the policy should be implemented, or it should be success when it reaches the end person, so that they have to reconsider all these things, and they have to take this motion forward. Thank you.
Okay, now it's open for the discussion. So anyone wants to ask a question? Harsh?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me the chance of posing a question to the House member. Prasanna, sir, do you think that there's echo? Sir, do you think that nuclear energy or atomic energy is worth investing in, considering the current scenario of our country? Would it be sustainable?
Yes, of course, this is the worst investment, because the it is causing negative impact on the health of the regional people who are around that nuclear power plant, and government is not disclosing what is the health status of that particular region, and they are not disclosing that one. If we disclose that one, if they have to prove that it is environmental sustainable thing or not, they have to disclose that. After that only we can agree to that nuclear power plants.
Now you are a minister for energy. Please defend the decision. Can
Prasanna,
you
sir, you're
unmute,
mute.
unmute and speak, Prasanna?
Yes, I will far of this nuclear power plants, I can speak like that. One is that nuclear power plants, all the nuclear power plants, before installing the nuclear power plants, we will go through the EIA, what is the environmental impact. Also, we are calculating the status of the health of that region, and also we are checking the economy of that particular region. If we see the after installation of the nuclear power plant, and we are giving the job opportunity for the many people, and the job opportunity given by the nuclear power plant is more than all the other what are the energy production processes are there. If we consider the hydro, or if we consider the solar, if we giving the more job opportunity in the sense of the installing the nuclear power plant. Also, we are also taking all the measures towards the security of that nuclear power plant. There is no and we are not disclosing the area of that nuclear power plant, and we are also giving the high security to that, and there is no any health hazardous is going out from the nuclear power plant, and all the myths are what it is very largely disclosed to the each person of that particular region. And if we see the economy of that particular region, their economy also grown because of this nuclear power plant. This is the advantage of this nuclear power plant, and we can get the cheaper electricity because of this nuclear power plant. I can say that this is a good decision taken by our government. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Prasanna. Now Aparna has some question. Prasanna?
Yes.
Yeah. Aparna, can you unmute and speak?
Hello, sir. Hello.
Yes,
Hello.
please
Am I
continue.
audible? Okay.
You are audible. Please continue.
Okay, so Prasanna sir, it's good to hear all the innovations regarding the energy. So, as a commoner, I would like to know actually renewable energy or the atomic energy is more reliable because um, uh, as we all know, the first fully solar powered solar powered what energy source is from the CL airport. So it took over 2 acres. So and also we considering about the wind energy, it take like high cost, high initiative cost for it. So as a commoner, I'm really curious to know whether it is reliable or not for us.
Yeah, as I can proceed. Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is in the if we consider the economy and all the other perspective, this is the good one only. But if we see the cultural background of that particular region or the health issue they are facing, they are facing the more negative impacts because of that power plant. Because of that, we have to oppose the nuclear power plants.
Okay, thank you, Prasanna. Now we'll move to the Ashpreet. She will be talking about waste management. First 5 minutes for and next 5 minutes against. Then the QA.
Sure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to speak today. So, first, I would like to start by speaking in favor of the idea of waste to energy plants. So our government, they know and they have recognized that the problem caused by waste is huge, and hence, under the Waste to Wealth initiative, we are investing in waste to energy projects. So that will not only solve the waste issue, but it will also produce electricity enough to charge around 20,000 houses in Delhi. So the population of the world is set to keep increasing in coming years, and that means that there will be more waste in these coming years. Therefore, we need such innovative solutions to handle waste, and waste to energy is one of them. So in waste to energy solutions, the waste is actually addressed as renewable source of energy by the Ministry of New and Renewable Energy, and at the end of the process, we will be saving the a lot of trash going to the landfill, and we will also be reducing the amount of the waste going to the landfill by 80%. So apart from addressing the waste issue, it also provides jobs. For example, there are 3 waste-to-energy plants in Delhi, and they have employed over 250 workers in these plants. So our government is giving up to 5 crore of investment to support these plants additionally. Also, such waste to energy plants, they cause less air pollution and emissions than the coal plants or natural power plants. So we also take care of the emissions coming out from the plant. We keep our precipitators checked and chimneys updated so that we are filtering out all the pollutants and giving out the air quality that is set by the regulations. So now I will be speaking and opposing the idea of waste to energy through incinerators. So setting up these incinerator plants is actually a costly job. So the plant in Delhi, it required a capital investment of around 400 crores. So while there was a huge capital investment, the workers who were working in the facility, they were not even given the basic pay, and the plant additionally requires heavy upgrade costs for the for the plant for around 20 crore rupees to operate every year. So waste should never be considered a renewable source of energy. Like as Prasanna said, nuclear waste should not be. I believe that the municipal waste should not be considered a renewable source of energy, because that would mean that we are promoting the idea of waste generation instead of finding green solutions to reduce it. So incinerating waste is not clean, as it produces harmful emissions that need to be regulated. So the emissions look less than the coal and natural power plants, the electricity produced by them. But if you see, the emissions is actually high. How? So incinerators only generate about 0.6% of the total energy, compared to 70% of energy from fossil fuels and 7% from hydroelectricity. So that's a very less amount of electricity being produced by incinerators at a huge cost and huge environmental degradation. Even less air pollution is still air pollution, because these plants are unchecked. Therefore the air pollution is greater in those areas. So furthermore, setting up incinerators, they require huge areas of lands, comparable to even landfills. For example, the Narela Bhavana plant in Delhi, they have taken around 98 acres of land. So we can actually invest the same amount of land in clean energy, such as solar panels. So it is not a sustainable investment, according to me. And regarding the job creations, the annual review of the renewable energy report of 2022 shows that uh, we have a lot of job creation from solar photovoltaic cell power, from wind sector, and from hydropowers. We have around 3 to 4 lakh of job creation from these sectors. And when you see the numbers of the waste to energy plants, as mentioned earlier, it's only in those 3 plants in Delhi, it was just 250 people who were employed. So the idea of the incinerator is actually to reduce waste, but at the end of the incinerators we have these unburnt plastic that is still left. So it's not serving the purpose that it should serve. We are still sending that unburned plastic and that fly ash to the landfills. So it's not as sustainable again. And again, we know about the pollution and the environmental hazard and human health hazard caused by these incinerators. For example, there is a study done in Italy, and they studied pregnant women, and they found that there were a lot of miscarriages occurring in the areas where these incinerators were set up. So I would like to rest my case here, and I'm open to questions now.
Okay, Asta, you
Thank you,
raised your hand.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I have a question for the member of the parliament. Two, actually. My first question is, you mentioned fly ash being put in landfills. There is the scientific discovery I came across when I was doing research for another IISC initiative. So apparently, and this is being used in New York right now, they use fly ash as an alternative to cement. It's called green cement. Do you think that using fly ash as an alternative to cement in India would be a viable option? That is my first question. And the second question is, in Germany, when they give out plastic bottles, they charge a little more than the standard price, so as to the people who are taking the bottle will come back and recycle it in the store. When they do so, there will be an incentive given to the citizens. So Germany, as we know, they're very responsible citizens in terms of the environment and towards the responsibility towards the country. Do you think doing like starting this in India would be something to look upon?
So I would like to address the second question. So actually you can see there's a lot of countries those have these bottle bills, and this is the part of their extended producer responsibility, where the company who is producing the material, they are in charge of collecting it at the end of the life cycle of the product. So again, like they're getting these incentives, they're getting like 10 cents to like recycle. Uh, but I would say that India's recycling it's way better than these developed countries, because in India the informal sector people, they actually come to our houses, they collect the waste, they give us the money. In India, littering is the problem, not the recycling. In these developed countries, recycling is the issue because they are mixing their waste with other like for example wet waste or other waste, so their recyclables are getting contaminated. In India we don't face such issue. Our recyclables are in good shape. Our informal sector is doing a great job in recovering these materials. And coming to the question on fly ash, I think uh, I think I have found some studies in India also that they are using fly ash in generating cement, and they are creating bricks out of it. Um, there is a company in Costa Rica. They are actually using plastics and fly ash, and they have created such a system that everything in their brick becomes inert. So over the lifetime, there is no gaseous emissions coming out of the brick. So I think that's a viable solution, but we need to be careful about what will be the harmful effects in case we're using these bricks in our houses. What will be the harmful effects? Or if maybe we can use these bricks in a pavement area or a public area, then there will be less concern. But if you're bringing these bricks to the houses, that's when we need to do more research on what's the human health impact of these bricks.
Harsh Yadav.
Thank you, Speaker Sir, for giving me the opportunity. So my question to House member is, should we aim to limit the use of these incinerators for just biohazardous waste?
I think we are using these incinerators for biohazardous waste already, and s- there might be still concerns about how they are managing these biohazardous waste. But again, there is some waste that needs to be incinerated. There is some waste that only needs to be in the landfill. For example, the hazardous waste, there is no other solution. There is no other solution we have currently. So yes, we can limit the incinerators to the biohazardous to just biohazardous waste. And again, when we talk about creating energy from municipal waste, if I'm talking for the idea, I would say that there is just so much municipal waste and we need to do something for it, and then creating energy sounds like a great option. But if I'm talking against the idea, then I think there might be better ways to handle our municipal waste. For example, again, focusing on recycling, reduce, and reuse kind of options. So, uh, yeah, both the sides.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move to the next the debate by Aparna on blue economy.
Okay, sir. So good morning, everyone. So I'm talking about the blue economy. So blue economy is an emerging concept which encourages better management of our ocean or blue resources. India's blue economy supports 95% of country's business through transportation and contributes an estimated 4% to its GDP. The blue economy assumed greater importance after the Third Earth Summit conference at Rio de Janeiro 2012. And the Ministry of Earth Science, being the nodal ministry, has rolled out the draft National Policy for India's Blue Economy 2021. The policy document aims to enhance the contribution of the economy to India's GDP. It mainly aims to improve the lives of coastal communities, preserve the marine biodiversity, and also maintains the natural security of marine protected areas and all. So the draft policy framework emphasizes policies across several key sectors, including fisheries, to achieve holistic growth of the India's economy. So now I'm talking more about the marine tourism. So marine tourism is a sector that has been one of the fastest growing globally and in India, particularly in coastal states like Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu. Coastal tourism has contributed largely to both the state economy and also the livelihood creation. In an example of appealing to newer interests, a campaign named Keralam Kana was launched by the Tourism Department of Kerala that aimed to offer luxury staycation at affordable rates to people from the state itself. So similar initiatives are being taken up by the other coastal states to increase the tourism. So the marine tourism is the act of engaging tourism activities in large bodies of water like freshwater lakes or oceans. So the activities such as snorkeling, scuba diving, and ocean walking, whatever. So then they all can be used in a sustainable way. The National Tourism Policy 2022 is a part of the vision of New India on high trajectory of growth and prosperity. The policy mainly aimed at improving framework conditions for tourism development in the country and also supporting the tourism industry, strengthening the tourism support functions, and developing the tourism subsectors. So, Swachh Sagar, Surakshit Sagar, Pinkos Safe Sea as a part of the Swachh Bharat Mission and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav 2022. The Government of India, along with the other voluntary organizations, ran a cleanliness campaign and a beach cleanup along the entire coastline. So a three-phase campaign, also named as the Swachhta Hi Seva, a beach cleaning drive was taken across 15 beaches in 2019. In 2022, Kerala state government also launched the Srita Sagara Sundara Thiram, a project to make the seashore plastic-free. Next important sector of the economy is aquaculture and fisheries. The government of India in recent years has taken several initiatives to harness the full potential of the fisheries sector in sustainable and a responsible manner. The central sponsored scheme CSS Blue Revolution Integrated Development and Management of Fisheries has launched in 2015 to 16 with an outlay of 3,000 crore for a period of 5 years. Recognizing the immense potential in fisheries sector, the Government of India in May 2020, with the highest investment of 2,000 crore, 20,000 crore, launched a new flagship program called Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampad Yojana (PMMSY) to bring about the blue revolution to sustainable, responsible development fisheries sector in our country. So the PMMSY is being implemented for a period of 5 years from 2021 to 2025 in all states. As a sector of this initiative, during the recent years, fishery sector in India has shown impressive growth. The government has also decided for introducing comprehensive and integrated national fisheries policy 2020 and also integrating national policy in marine fisheries is in 2017 and draft national inland fisheries and aquaculture policy and also draft national mariculture policy along the elements of post-harvest. So these are the some of the policy regarding the blue economy. So the dark economic clouds are dissipating into an emerging blue sky of opportunity. Thank you. So now I will be speaking against the blue economy. So during the broadband period, hope you are all aware about the broadband period. Actually, broadband is basically in monsoon season. We all in West Coast and East Coast during the monsoon season there will be ban for fishing activities. So that is called broadband. So during the broadband period, the fishermen actually not allowed to catch for 61 days. Okay, so they are facing unemployment, poverty, and it leads to take loans from all the banks and everything. So it is a burden to them. The government is providing them funds, but it is not actually enough for the socio-economic well-being. That's one of the major gap I found in the policies. Also, there is mesh size regulation. So for fishermen use small sized mesh because to get high catches actually to get high profit. So while they're using small mesh size, they are actually creating an imbalance in the ocean environment. So in case of marine tourism, the plastic use is one of the major concern, and even there are many missions and all, it helps only to some extent. Another gap I found that it was the activities like ocean walking, scuba, snorkeling, and all disturbing the natural ecosystem. They are in coming contact and they disturbing the natural ecosystem of the organism in the marine ecosystem. So next is the oil mining, dredging activities. These also affect the benthic organisms and they will migrate to another areas and it will cause ecological imbalance. Also cause ecological imbalance. Another thing is the oil pollution from the cargo ship. We have to take better actions against these pollutions. Also, when we allow foreign ships to our territory, they'll simply they will simply use the ballast water. Ballast water means the water that we commonly use to buoyancy. The large ship use ballast water for the buoyancy, and they'll release this ballast water into the our marine ecosystem, and it will cause the release of invasive species into the marine ecosystem. So these invasive species may compete with the our natural indigenous species, and also they mainly compete with the food, and also our natural species will got several kind of disease and all. So we have to provide better policies. Actually, we need better policies need to be implemented for these gap areas. By this, I'm concluding my words. Thank you. Hope you understand.
Okay, now the floor is open for question and answer. Asta, you have some question?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question is, when the shipping sector is privatized, they tend to focus less on the effect of their action and more on the monetary benefits that they can gain out of it. So are there any regulations by the government that monitor the shipping sector that is privatized and the activities that are carried out by them that could possibly be harmful for the ecology of the ocean?
Actually, yes, there will be the government is providing only less license. Okay, less license is providing by the government. Actually, that is one of the method that from the government side, and also I think there also, as I told about the ballast water, there are some criteria. You have to follow some criteria. If that's if it the if only we are passing that criteria, they will allow the ships and all to our territory. Did I answer
Okay,
your
there are no
question?
questions. There are no other questions. Okay, we'll move to the next presentation by Asta. Asta, you can propose your motion and then you can speak for and against. 5 minutes each. QA is
Yes,
for
sir.
5 minutes.
Yes, sir. Dear Mr. Speaker and dear Parliament, I'm going to speak for the ruling party as of now. I would like to begin by quoting what is written on the foreword of our Jal Shakti mission objective. Water is the source of happiness, energy, health, piety, and it's as life-giving as mother is. It is the belief of our government that the soul of India lives in the hardworking people. And the best way to complement this can-do spirit of 130 crore Indians is to enable their movement forward. To provide quality life of people, since 2014, our government has been working relentlessly to enhance the quality of life and the well-being of these people. We aim to give them a better life, and we want to empower those who have never had the opportunity to realize their dreams. Our way of doing that is to start with some initiatives. I will start with focusing on the Jal Jeevan mission that was launched. This Jal Jeevan mission aims at providing functional household tap connection to every rural house by 2024. It focuses on service delivery at household level, that is water supply on regular basis in adequate quantity and prescribed quality. It requires modern technology, planning, implementation of these said water supply schemes, development of the water sources and treatment and supply of water. Also the empowerment of the Gram Panchayat, which is also the 73rd amendment of the Constitution. we aim at empowering the Gram Panchayat so they can make a monitoring system for their own villages. So according to the data by the Integrated Management Information System that is maintained by the Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation, when Jal Jeevan Mission was announced in the year 2020, there was 3 crore 32 crore households that were that were reported to have taps. But then as of now, that is not now exactly, but in the year 2022, we were able to provide a tap connection to more, like an addition of 6 crore 70 lakh people. So as of now, we are looking at the grand total of 9 crore 93 lakhs out of the 19 crore margin that we have set for ourselves. Another thing to pride ourselves on is 3 states of Goa, Haryana, and Telangana, and 2 union territories of Dadar and Nagar Haveli, Daman and Diu. They have 100% tap connection, water tap connection. Now, the second initiative would be Sujalam 2.0, which is a grey water initiative. That's a grey water recycling initiative. The Union Minister of Jal Shakti, Gajendra Shekhawat, launched this project that will reuse grey water, which is the runoff of kitchen and from kitchens and it aims at creation of institutional level grey water management in panchayat and government levels. The next initiative would be the Atal Bhujal Yojana, which is a 5-year program that was initiated in the year 2020. It aims to improve the management of the groundwater resources in the water stressed area in the selected states, which is 7 states. So a total of 8,551 gram panchayats were selected of 244 blocks and 80 districts. So the core segment of the plan is to prepare and implement a Gram Panchayat level community where there is a water security plan that is decided by the Gram Panchayat. So this is called the WSP. The WSP is the Gram Panchayat level groundwater balance that is derived from the measurement of the water resources and the availability of the water utilization. So based on this balance, it is proposed that a potential water management intervention will be given for sustainable water resources. This whole process is called groundwater budgeting. Now, as of now, the program has already crossed its half mark, and it is again a matter of pride for us to announce that we have achieved the target of the WSP preparations, the Water Security Plan, across 7 states out of the targeted 8,551 WSPs. A total of 8,080 WSPs are prepared, which is almost 90%. Now, I would like to pass on the floor to the opposition party to speak about the same. Speaking as the opposition right now. Dear members of the parliament, the ruling party has painted a very rosy picture in front of our eyes. They have handpicked statistics that support their claims of providing water facilities all over India. The opposition, that is us, we would like to bring attention to the bleak present that we are living due to the current leadership of the ruling government. As a part of Jal Jeevan Mission, it intends on having a community approach to water, and it includes extensive education and communication as key components. The presence of village water and sanitation communities or Pani Samitis in each village is important. But currently, only 35% of these have committees where only 16% have the ability to manage the operation and maintain the water supply. A feasible percentage of 56% of the village does not have skilled manpower for the operation and for the maintenance of the said water schemes. This is an abysmal number that shows that the authorities are quite far from achieving the objective of promoting and ensuring voluntary ownership of the scheme, and the local community and the initiative to mobilize the community is lagging. Next, when we look at the specific example of the state of Karnataka, we saw that the Minister of the ruling party, Gajendra Shekhawat, he himself expressed concerns over the uranium contamination found in villages in Karnataka, and directed the state governments to address the said issue. However, we did not see any results on the matter. the condition of the district laboratories for the water testing was quite disheartening. The report finds that in all of 30 districts, none of them had the capacity to test more than 20 to 30 samples and had an issue with human resource reagents, etc. There was also, when we uranium poisoning in water is not just an issue that Karnataka's villages are facing. These issues are the same in Rajasthan and in Gujarat, and the government has said nothing about it except for saying that right now there is no human damage that is seen, and when it starts, we will look into the matter. So there was a mention of Atal Bhujal Yojana. When we did in-depth analysis of the publicly available information, that information suggests that the program has achieved the target of the WSP preparation, while all the activities that were associated with the fundamentals were significantly ignored. Across all 7 states, the targeted 8,551 WSPs were out of that target, nearly 95% of it was accomplished. But at the same time, only 18% of the expenditure was made against the total allocated amount for the associated aspects. Now, when we come to the capacity building component, a cumulative total of 213,126 trainings were planned by the government, but only 8,796 were completed. So this is a total of 4%. Another worrisome insight is that in states like Haryana and Gujarat, not even a single training at the Gram Panchayat level was conducted, which is a very focal point of the Water Security Plan initiative. Another aspect is that visual data gathering instruments such as piezometers, digital water level recorders, and rain gauge stations haven't even seen the light of the day in almost half of the project area yet. Interestingly, they were supposed to be the action items of the initial phase of the project. A preview of the dashboard suggests that the WSPs were prepared by keeping the fundamentals at margin. None of the indicators of the fundamentals have made considerable progress, whereas the targets of the WSPs were achieved fully. This is an equivalent of a chef having already served a dish, whereas all the essential ingredients were not even available in the kitchen. It is evident that in the hurry to deliver the WSPs, the essentials, the core values of the entire mission were kept at bay. I think the House would agree with me when I say that it is certain that Atal Bhujal Yojana failed to follow its fundamentals, and the consequences could be bitter for groundwater resources as well as the communities. What as opposition we suggest to the ruling party is certain measures where you provide an evaluation for the regulation made and the performance it shows through peer or external review system against the given mandate. As we saw, all these policies are created and implemented, but we do not see any result. Another thing is that the regulatory processes must be made transparent as to have total so that we have like total accountancy that we can have. Another thing is to create a forum where the consumer, the normal citizen, has access to all the information with regard to all the policies made, so that citizens actively participate and voice out their concern and receive everything that they are supposed to be given. With that, I would like to rest. That is all that I have to speak. I open the floor for any questions.
Okay, thank you. I think Ashpreet has raised her hand. Yes.
Yeah, I have a question regarding the idea of this grey water recycling. I think that is a great initiative, but how are you going to get the buy-in from people? How are you, for example, in India, it's very culture and water is considered holy. How are you going to overcome that cultural barrier where we don't use reused water, or we don't even drink if someone drank our water? How are you going to overcome that cultural barrier?
Okay, thank you for asking me that question. I think I'll answer this in like 2 parts. The first thing that we have to understand is grey water is not very dirty or does not have like extreme dirt in it, because these are runoffs in kitchen which we use to probably wash vessels, probably do regular washing of vegetables, or in bathroom where you use to wash your face, and regular day-to-day activities like that. So the maximum contamination that the water might have could be detergents, dish soap, and other contaminations. Now this can easily be treated. And yeah, that's one. That is grey water, that is the kitchen and bathroom runoff, is one aspect. The other one could also be sewage, which requires proper treatment. That is one. The second thing we have to understand is, yes, water is given a lot of importance, but we do not have any of it left as of now, and beggars can't be choosers. So we have to make do with everything that we have right now. And as of now, grey water is the best thing that we can employ for our own, like saving ourselves from the crisis of water that we are heading towards. So it would be it requires to be treated, like I mentioned yesterday from the case study of Bangalore, where Vinod Kumar, he treated it with a little bit of bleach and alum, so that there was no dirt, there was no odor by the end of it, and it would go again in the flush system. So he reused it like that. Now grey water could be treated, and then it could be employed for various purposes, and I think that's the best and most viable solution that India has as of now. I hope I've answered your question.
Yeah, Harsh.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So my question to the House member is that the Pani Samitis that you talked about in the Jal Jeevan mission. So what improvements would you suggest that they can adopt in order to work more efficiently? Because I think the Pani Samitis are a positive thing that they exist. It's a positive thing. So can you please?
Thank you for posing that question. Yes, Pani Samitis are a very good initiative at a Gram Panchayat level and at a village level. But the complication arises when people are not aware of their current predicament. They are not made aware of what possible changes there can be made. There is a lack of awareness. There is a lack of education that is seen in the Pani Samitis. In the cases that I mentioned, in the incidents of Karnataka specifically, the statistics I mentioned, nearly 56% of them are unaware of what they do not have the skills to be entrusted with the responsibility of creating a whole water plan. They're a very good idea, but you have to educate them before you trust them with the responsibility of creating a water plan for the entire village, because that's a very big responsibility, and in the hands of a unskilled person, it could be a very, very dangerous thing. What we need to look at right now is to educate them properly, to make sure that they know everything that is there to know about it, so that they can come up with solutions, and they can come up with the plans that will work specifically for their village. So the government should aim at giving proper education, proper awareness, and all the skills that is required and necessary for a Pani Samiti to work efficiently. Yeah, that I hope answered your query.
Okay, thank you, Asta. Let us move to Nisar Ahmad, the Minister for Environment, will propose the nature-based solution.
Thank you, Speaker, giving opportunity. Thank you so much.
You are not audible?
Sir, now I am audible?
Yeah, now you are audible, yes.
Hello? Yes, sir. So thank you so much, to Speaker, giving opportunity to me. So सभी लोगों को मेरे तरफ से नमस्कार हो, पार्लियामेंट के मेंबर्स को। मैं आपके सामने पहला रूलिंग पार्टी और दूसरा अपोजिशन पार्टी के बारे में नेचर बेस्ड सोल्यूशन के बारे में आपके सामने बात करना चाह रहा हूँ। सो इससे पहले मैं बात करने से पहले एक कोट लगाना चाहता हूँ, लोग कोट बोलना चाहता हूँ। देश ने हमको क्या किया, दैट इज नॉट ए मैटर। देश ने हमको क्या किया, दैट इज नॉट ए मैटर। देश को हमने क्या किया, दैट इज मैटर राइट नाउ। सो हम युवाओं को हमको सोचना पड़ेगा पहला, हमने क्या देश को दिया। सो वी हैव टू थिंक अबाउट आवर देश। आवर देश हैज टू, मेरा भारत देश डेवलप होना चाहिए, ऐसा जो हमें थिंक करना चाहिए, ऐसा जो हमें पॉलिसीज लाना चाहिए। इसी तरह यहाँ पर हमारी पार्टी जो रूलिंग पार्टी है वो बहुत सारे पॉलिसीज, बहुत सारे योजना जारी किए हैं। इससे पहले मैं ये कहना चाहता हूँ, हमारे जो रूलिंग पार्टी है वो पहला बेनिफिट ऑफ नेचर एज वेल एज बेनिफिट ऑफ पीपल्स, ये जो मकसद हमारा पार्टी का है, बेनिफिट ऑफ पीपल्स एज वेल एज बेनिफिट ऑफ नेचर। सो बेनिफिट ऑफ पीपल्स इन द सेंस ऑफ हमारे नेशन को टी नेशन का था। क्यों बोले तो कहां पर भी जाए आप, यू हैव टू यूज टू टेक टी। हाउ यूज टू टेक टी? दैट इज इन प्लास्टिक। Wherever you see that is plastic, they will take the tea and they will throw that plastic, that tea, that one. So यहाँ पर हम नेचर बेस्ड सोल्यूशन, हमारे जो भारत देश के नागरिकों ने यहाँ पर गौर किया कि इससे क्या करना है। So वो लोग क्या यूज करने लगे, they are using that this one, what is it, tree based, like paper based cups they are using right now. So यहाँ से बहुत सारा कुछ हम लोग कितने प्लास्टिक वेस्ट को हम रिड्यूस करें। इसके अलावा as you know, after post independence we have lots of like acts, like since like environmental protection act 1986 के अंदर ये प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट, इसके अंदर बहुत कुछ एक्ट्स आते हैं। इसके अंदर 1 2 3 4 एक्ट आपको बताना चाह रहा हूँ। सो वन इज लाइक वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन, हमको वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन को करना चाहिए। और सेकंड थिंग इज that is in like implemented in 1972. So one more thing is water and water pollution control, that is in 1974. And also like air pollution and control, that is also in 1981 के अंदर ये इम्प्लीमेंट किया। सो इसके अलावा हम रिसेंटली हम ये in this way we will implemented the so many like yojanas to protect our environment, to give the solution in that way. So first thing is प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना। ये प्रधानमंत्री योजना ऐसा नहीं कि हम लोग ये इट इज नॉट ए नेचुरल बेस्ड सोल्यूशन, इट इज काइंड ऑफ नेचुरल बेस्ड सोल्यूशन टू प्रोटेक्ट अवर एनवायरमेंट। सो यहाँ पर क्या मतलब उज्ज्वला योजना में हम लोग सभी भारत देशों के बिलो पॉवर्टी लोगों को हम गैस एलपीजी गैस को वितरण किया है। सो ऑलमोस्ट 50 मिलियन गैस को हम वितरण सो फार किया है। इसके अलावा एक उज्जवल भविष्य, ये उज्जवल योजना ये है कि ये लॉट्स ऑफ लाइक so many like what you say that exhaust, so many harmful gases we can reduce by this by this yojana. So one more thing, we have Jala Shakti Yojana. So even lots of like problems are facing by rural peoples. Jala Shakti Yojana ये कैसा like solution हो सकता है, like nature based solution हो सकता है। So ये nature based solution तो है ना, it is a way, it is a kind of nature based solution because so many peoples in the villages they are facing the problems about the water. So मैं भी है चाहता हूँ कि मैं एक बार पानी लेकर ये enact हुआ है like 2019 के अंदर। मैं जब पानी लेकर आने के लिए जाना था 2 किलोमीटर जाना पड़ता था मेरे गांव से। अब वो 2019 के अंदर जला शक्ति आने के बाद मेरे को अभी पानी का प्रॉब्लम नहीं हो रहा गांव के अंदर। So that is good implemented by our party. So like this, the last one more thing, so based upon this in nature, we implemented in Gujarat, that is production of electricity by using the solar panels, that is by canal solar what is that canal solar project we done in 2012, that these things we implemented this. So from this like यहाँ से सोलर कैनल सोलर प्रोजेक्ट से कितने की हम लोग कैनल्स के ऊपर सोलर सिस्टम को इंस्टॉल करके कई सारे जगहों को हम लोग यूटिलाइज किया और कई सारे मतलब एनर्जी को हम एक्सट्रैक्ट किए यहाँ से। अब हमारा एक मकसद है भारत देश को एक अच्छी तरह सोलर प्रोडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी प्रोडक्शन करना चाहिए करके एक। दिस इज व्हाट द रूलिंग पार्टी। सो आई वांट टू टॉक अबाउट द अपोजिशन पार्टी। अपोजिशन पार्टी बात करने से पहले मैं यहाँ पर एक अमिताभ बच्चन का एक डायलॉग सुना था किंग से कि हमारे जो भी रूलिंग पार्टी है वो समझना चाहिए बिफोर इम्प्लीमेंट करने से पहले। क्या वो मतलब जब चुंटी चबती है पहाड़ पर 100 बार फिसल पड़ती है, जब चुंटी चढ़ती है पहाड़ पर 100 बार फिसल पड़ती है, चढ़कर गिरना गिरकर चढ़ना आखिर इसकी मेहनत नाकाम नहीं होती। अपोजिशन पार्टी ये समझना है क्या बोल रहा हूँ। जब चुंटी चढ़ती है, जब इम्प्लीमेंट करते हैं होता है आगे कुछ होता है, वी आर एग्री विद दिस, जब सोच कर करना है। बट ये असफलता है, इसे चुनौती इसे स्वीकार करो, क्या कमी है देखो उसे सुधार करो, जब तक न मिले सफल नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, ये भारत के युवाओं को एक इंडिकेट करता है। जब तक न मिले सफल, नींद चैन को त्यागो तुम, संघर्ष का मैदान को छोड़कर मत भागो तुम, कुछ किए बिना जय जयकार नहीं होती। मेरे प्यारे अपोजिशन पार्टी, लाइक रूलिंग पार्टी, मेरा ये कहना है कि आप बहुत कुछ इंप्लीमेंट किया, प्रधान उज्ज्वला योजना, जल शक्ति योजना और बहुत सारे कुछ लाइक योजना भी आप प्रोटेक्ट, इन्वायरमेंट प्रोटेक्ट करने के लिए सब कुछ ये किया। मगर मेरा कहना है कि इतना प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना कितने लोगों को बेनिफिट हो रहा है, फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन। सेकेंड थिंग इज, ये प्रधानमंत्री उज्ज्वला योजना कितने लोगों को इसका बेनिफिट एज वेल एज कितने इसका ड्रॉबैक्स है, वो हमको इसके बारे में जानकारी रहना चाहिए। यहाँ से एलपीजी गैस हम कहते हैं, यहाँ पर एलपीजी गैस का थाउजेंड्स अबव हो रहा है। मतलब द पीपल्स हु आर लाइक लिविंग इन द विलेजेस, दे कांट अफोर्ड, they can't afford at all. How they can't afford? Again they will go to the same situation. How they again they are like, हम लोग क्या यूज करते थे, लकड़ी यूज करते थे पानी चूल्हा जलाने के लिए, सिर्फ अगेन वी आर गोइंग टू दैट पोजीशन बिकॉज गैस का रेट ज्यादा है। ये एक एडवांटेज है। और नेक्स्ट एडवांटेज, ये ड्रॉबैक्स क्या है, मतलब इसका एक इम्प्लीमेंटेशन का। सेकेंड थिंग इज, ये पेट्रोलियम बेस्ड है। फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल इट इज अ पेट्रोलियम बाई प्रोडक्ट है, पेट्रोलियम का बाई प्रोडक्ट ही हम लोग फिर इंप्लीमेंट करें। सो अगेन इट इज अ हार्मफुल फॉर इन्वायरमेंट, don't think it. So that's why my suggestion to the ruling party to implement the biogas production each and every villages. We have to give the subsidy for the people. So हमको सब्सिडी देना चाहिए एक एक विलेजेस के अंदर, एटलीस्ट 10 बायोगैस प्लांट्स, हम लोग बायोगैस प्रोडक्शन प्लांट्स हम डाल दिया, बायोगैस वो इम्प्लीमेंट कर दिया, तो हमारे विलेजेस के अंदर हम लोग डेवलप कर सकते हैं। ये भी एलपीजी गैस को हम रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं और इन्वायरमेंटली फ्रेंडली हम यूज कर सकते हैं। दिस इज वन सॉल्यूशन फ्रॉम दिस। एंड सेकंड वन इज जल शक्ति एज वेल एज दिस करंट। अभी सभी लोग बात करते हैं कि लाइक करंट सीनियर, लाइक गुजरात के अंदर सोलर पैनल, इसको ऊपर क्या बोलते हैं, कैनल के ऊपर सोलर पैनल इंस्टॉल कर दिया, उससे बहुत हार्मफुल भी है, ड्रॉबैक्स भी है। मैं आपको दो ड्रॉबैक्स आप रूलिंग पार्टी को कहना चाह रहा हूँ। एक ड्रॉबैक्स ये है, जब हम लोग इंस्टॉलेशन किया, दैट इज अ कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल दैट इज आल्सो वन ऑफ द कॉस्ट इफेक्टिव। सेकंड थिंग इज, वहां पर अलगल बूम का कैपेसिटी ज्यादा होता है, उसके अलावा दैट इवेपोरेशन तो कम हो जाएगा, मगर द वाटर कैपेसिटी एंड क्वांटिटी ऑफ वाटर, quality of it is going to be reduced. So these things you have to take care is the opposite ruling party. So इससे मैं चार बातों से मैं ये इसको एंड करने से पहले एक सभी आप रूलिंग पार्टी को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ और ये भी कहना चाहता हूँ सो कि नो मैटर हाउ मेनी पॉलिसीज यू मेक, नो मैटर हाउ मेनी पॉलिसीज यू मेक, नो मैटर हाउ मेनी लॉज यू मेक, until and unless nothing will work without implementing sincerity. Thank you so much.
Okay, now open for question and answer session. So Harsh.
So I had no question as per, but just an opinion. We like most of us might know of Mr. Sonam Wangchuk from Ladakh. He has implemented a very good nature-based solution for they are called ice stupas. So what happens is that they during the time when there is no water available, so what they use is that they use the leveling principle of water. So they create ice stupas. They have just laid a pipe there, and it gets created on its own, matlab, through natural processes. And when the season passes and the need for water arises, that ice stupa melts and gives out water for irrigation and other purposes. So that was just a good nature-based solution that I wanted to share. I have no question as such for the member. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Asta.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. My question to the member is, the solar panels in Gujarat and Rajasthan, they've created a problem for the migratory birds. It has posed a major threat to the migratory birds. What does the government intend to do about that?
Yes, thank you so much, Asta. Here, मैं क्या मतलब क्या बोलना चाह रहा हूँ, हमारे जो गवर्नमेंट उसके जो भी माइग्रेटिंग बर्ड्स है उसको कैसा रिड्यूस कर सकता है, आपका क्वेश्चन है ना?
रेड्यूस हो गया है, उसके बारे में क्या कर रहे हैं गवर्नमेंट?
ओके, स्टिल गवर्नमेंट का इम्प्लीमेंटेशन ये है कि उसके ऊपर मतलब वहाँ पर जो भी बर्ड्स, जो भी एनिमल्स, जो भी अतराफ के जो भी है ना, उसको हम कंटेनमेंट जोन करके कर सकते हैं. कंटेनमेंट जोन लाइक किसी को एंटर नहीं करना चाहिए, सो वो बॉर्डर कंटेनमेंट जोन कर सकते हैं, उतना ही.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Tulika?
So, I have one question.
Yes, please raise.
What you said about that solar panels above the canals, I would like to know what are the environmental consequences of that and how government is like trying to reduce that. Yeah, I get your answer that you will try to barricade that area, but how will that work? I didn't actually get that.
वर्क इन द सेंस लाइक यहाँ पर हम सोलर पैनल को यूज करके, मतलब सोलर पैनल हम कहाँ पर यूज करना है, मतलब ये कैनल्स के अंदर ऊपर यूज कर रहे हैं. किस लिए, मतलब हम यहाँ पर ये सोलर पैनल अब हम यहाँ धरती पर इंस्टॉल करें तो ज़्यादा स्पेस लगता है, ओके ना. सो ज़्यादा स्पेस लगे तो हमको वो ज़्यादा वेस्ट करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, ज़्यादा स्पेस को. सो वो एक रिड्यूस करने के लिए वो हम लोग कहाँ पर इंस्टॉल करना करके सोचा. ये इस अभी अभी हम थाउजेंड्स के लीटर के ऊपर एवापोरेशन हो रहा था कैनल्स के पानी. कैनल्स का पानी ज़्यादा एवापोरेशन होने की वजह से हमको कैसा वो ट्राई, वी हैव टू रिड्यूस दैट, how to reduce the canal water. So we thought that, so we implemented this policy to prevent that evaporation of water.
क्या वो उसके वाटर क्वालिटी पे इफेक्ट नहीं करेगा?
Yes, of course, water quality affect करेगा. उसका जो भी कारण है, we will think about that, we will give the solution. That is also I will go through that.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Okay, there are no raised hands, so
I have
Asta,
to say
you are
something.
raising. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So, but this is not related to Nisar sir's topic. I had the answer for the question that the member Nisar asked when to Tulika. He asked, like, what about the water for birds and animals? Are there any policies that the government has made to take care of birds and animals? I think the answer is that you should go back to our traditional practices. We've always followed the ideology of having a lake, a pond, a gokatte in Karnataka, gokatte, and in the north, be it jhalars or kattas. So these are all traditional practices that were for both animals and for mankind. So one of it is that, and second, how are we going to bring these destroyed and damaged traditional water harvesting practices back? Is the government had initiated this policy, a project in 2009. It's called Rejuvenate, Restore, and Restore, Rejuvenate, and some another R word, triple R, of traditional water harvesting systems. Under that, it aimed at selecting particular ponds, lakes, and other traditional rainwater harvesting systems which were degraded and damaged. And according to the 2016 report, it had successfully managed to repair all the areas that were selected. Specifically speaking of Karnataka, Karnataka board had also taken up the activity. I mentioned it in my speech yesterday. It had taken up this act of assessment of traditional rainwater harvesting systems and water harvesting breathing systems and checking their physical and hydrological capacity. They were able to successfully rejuvenate some of the traditional practices, and we're also able to motivate other people into helping other people in the sense of local communities and individuals into helping to restore and rejuvenate the lakes and kalyanis. So yeah, that is the answer. Thank you, sir, for letting me get this point across.
Okay, thank you all young MPs doing a good job. Now the last part is that the voting. So now I want you to select 5 members from your group. This one, I'll call out the name. You can raise your hand. I will count the votes. Then whoever has got the highest mark, I'll also account in my account the marks. This one, okay. So now I'll start with the first the youth young MP. So Asta, I mean, who all wants to vote for her? Have to raise your hands, including jury who are there on the board.
Sir, can I vote for myself?
You can vote for yourself, yes. Okay, Prasanna, just count it and tell me how many are there.
Eleven. 11, sir. All are voted.
All are voted. Okay. Next
Excuse
is
me, sir. Excuse me, sir.
yeah, please.
Hello.
Yeah,
Sir,
you
we will
can.
send the mark because we are two. We can raise only one this one. So we will send our mark now itself. Okay.
No, that is fine. That is fine. This is independent of that. Okay. The marks you will, all the people who are evaluating will send the marks for a 15 marks, 5 marks for the motion, and 5 against the motion, and 5 for the Q&A session. Okay. Accordingly, for each candidate, you will assign the evaluate for 15 marks. Okay. Now coming back to the voting. Now we will move to the next the youth icon. The Aparna. Those who want to vote can raise the hands. Okay, Prasanna, what is the total count?
Sir, 6.
Aparna, okay. So now I'll move to the next minister, Prasanna. Vote for Prasanna. Those who want to vote for Prasanna have to raise their hands. What is the count, Prasanna?
Seven, sir.
And sir,
Okay.
for Aparna, it was 7 also.
For Aparna?
It was also 7, sir.
Okay. Okay, next, Harsh. Counting has to be quick. You have to raise your hand fast. Tulika, just count and tell me.
11, sir.
Okay. Nisar Ahmad. Those who want to vote for Nisar, please raise your hands. Prasanna, how many? Tulika?
No, sir. Oh, 9.
Okay. So, Ashpreet, Those who want to vote for Ashpreet? What is the count, Tulika?
8, sir.
8. So now, Tulika, those who want to vote for Tulika, please raise your hands. So Prasanna, please count.
7, sir.
Okay, we will announce the results either tomorrow morning. Okay, I will communicate to the ministry about the process. Okay, and the ministry will in turn communicate to those who are selected. So you can hope for the best. Okay, so and the next session of the parliament will be in Delhi. So there will be more members from other states will join you, those who are selected. So you can plan and prepare well to attend that session. So in any event, the ministry will communicate to you about the outcome of this program. And also, of course, I'll also keep you updated about who all are shortlisted in this session from conducted at IISC. If you have any question, I would like to answer that. Otherwise, I'll conclude the session soon. Finally, you can keep the video on so that we will record the event. All of you keep the video on, including Germans. There are 2 German MPs also there in the parliament.
So we didn't raise our hand, but we sent the marks to you now itself.
No problem. I'll take it. I'll account it.
Because
Okay?
we 2 are there, you can't count. You only count 1. So I didn't do like that.
No. You could have kept the camera on and raised the hands.
That time I didn't get that idea.
Okay, fine. So that's how you get an idea when we conduct a program like this. Okay. So okay, all youngsters, thank you very much once again for active participation. As I said earlier, I'll be communicating to the ministry as well as to you, and you will know by tomorrow 10 o'clock who are the people getting into the next round. And I am sure from today's voting, you know that who will certainly go to the next level. The voting also indicates to some extent. So then before we conclude, we have with us Dr. Anandi Subramanian, who was worked in the Ministry of Environment and Forest. I would like her to conclude this with a few words to the youngsters. Okay. Madam, you're okay.
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. No, it was really refreshing. I was very happy to be part of this. And I love their ideas and the way they spoke for and against at the same time. It was very nice. And it shows how mature they are actually. I don't think I was mature so much at their age. So they're really mature and they understand so many issues. And it's good that they're being developed like this at this age. And I think we have a young group of parliamentarians right with us here. So that's very nice. And I hope that you all succeed in whatever you do, in whatever capacity. And let's see whether one of you will at least come up as an MP from Karnataka, I think, or I don't know where the others are from. Ashpreet, you're from where?
From Punjab.
Punjab, हाँ, तो पंजाब भी represented है, तो पंजाब है. Then I think we had Harsh also is not from Karnataka, so
Harsh is from Delhi.
Wherever Harsh is Delhi. Okay. So we have a lot of. कहाँ से?
उत्तर प्रदेश, नोएडा, उत्तर प्रदेश.
उत्तर प्रदेश से हो? अच्छा, नोएडा से हो. Great. उत्तर प्रदेश से अगर है तो that's really great, because I think Uttar Pradesh needs such young people and dynamic parliamentarians. So that's very nice. I wish you all the best.
Okay, the session is concluded. We'll see you in Delhi soon.
Excuse me, sir.
Thank
I
you and all
have
the best.
Thank you, sir.
Excuse
Thank
me,
you so much.
sir.
Yeah, please.
Hello. I want to tell our young parliament. Yes, actually, you people, some of the people are not prepared well. Another thing, you have to ask any question before that. You just write in your paper or this one book. You should write it and then you just ask because so many people just their questions are not clear, then the answering also not clear at all. So please prepare well. This is you should take at least a serious event. This is you people please prepare well and to do it next time.
Okay, you are all representing IISC when you go to Delhi. So please do well. That is the message given by Cincy. So with this, I conclude the session. I wish you all the success. See you all soon at Delhi. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, thank you, Jury, Dr. Aruna and Dr. Anandi for being with us.
Thank you, sir.
So it was a good
Thank you for the pleasure.
session. Yeah, I
It was
look
a pleasure
forward for the
listening to
marks.
great minds, young minds, sir.
Sure.
Thank you so much,
Okay,
Dr.
thank you. Sure. Thank you very much.